Well, good afternoon. It's good to be back. We are excited to get back into playing mode. Had the guys back yesterday. Had more than a typical Monday workout, and we'll go in pads today again. And excited about the challenge. It's going to be a great challenge on Saturday against a great Oklahoma State team in a tough environment. But we'll put together game plans and keep ironing things out, and hope the guys play really well. So I know they're excited about the opportunity. So we'll open it up for questions.
You said more than on your Monday practice. How
well, usually we were just in T-shirts and shorts on Monday, coming off of a game on Saturday. But with us not playing on Saturday, we put pads on yesterday and had much more in-depth practice just because we'd been off a couple days.
Your first Big 12 season, how geared up are you? How geared up is the team for this opportunity?
Well, I know that they're excited about it. You know, it's going to be a tough venue going on the road, but I think we need, once again, another measuring stick for us to see where we are. I'm excited, just like the guys are, just to have another opportunity. You know, you only have so many opportunities, and we're just excited to play.
How different is Oklahoma State on offense than the three opponents that you guys have faced through the first couple weeks?
Quite a bit different because they can beat you in all phases. You know, they're going to beat you just running the football with a dynamic running back and an exceptional offensive line, and they're going to throw the ball. I know Wallace is a tremendous player, and they have other pieces around him that are really exceptional as well. And then you throw in the quarterback that is so explosive and can hit a home run on every play. So, I mean, in all three phases of offensive football, with the ability for the quarterback to run and throw, wide receivers to beat you, and a running back, it's a formidable offense.
I'm just curious, at North Dakota State, how often did you face this kind of spread? Were there a lot of teams that use it?
I mean, it's what college football is becoming. So you see it all the time with tempo, you know, trying to get plays off as quickly as you can. I mean, that's everybody in college football is doing that, or everybody in different leagues. You know, there's a handful of teams, and so we faced it quite often.
How important was it to have that off week right before getting into Big 12, maybe a chance to kind of gather your thoughts and get the team's feet back under it?
Yeah, it was good for us from a staff's point of view to just evaluate where we are, what we feel we can do with the group of guys we have, where do we see our strengths, where do we see our weaknesses, try to work on all those weaknesses, emphasize the strengths, try to see you know, where we're thin at positionally, and you know, just each day we're once again, I know this is going to be game 4, but we're still pretty new with our program. And so every opportunity we had a good week of practice last week. We practiced Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So we were able to get a lot of work done, as much on Oklahoma State as we were working on ourselves and going against each other quite a bit, just to continue to refine where we're at offensively and defensively.
Self-evaluation has always been part of coaching, but now at this level, everyone has analysts,
yeah.
Offense, defense, special teams. Has that made this process easier where you have someone truly dedicated to breaking down your own film?
Yeah, I think it'll come into play as we continue to move forward. You know, we have all that stuff. Okay, now how much are you going to take of Bowling Green? How much are you taking of Nichols? You know, so although we took it all into account, you still have to separate some parts of that game. And so moving forward, it's going to be a big piece for us.
There have been some guys that have played multiple spots already this year. As a bye week, a chance to experiment with some of that a little bit more?
Yeah, we always do that in places I've been. You know, we had maybe 15 guys just doing a different individual from a position, not change. We didn't change any people, but just position switch just for an individual period to get some more eyes on guys. The other thing that I think it did, and what we wanted to do, was try to get some running backs and receivers into more tackling situations. You know, take a Tyler Burns or a Jordan Brown or a Harry Trotter or a Youngblood or somebody like that, that's Landry, that's a good special teams player that doesn't get an opportunity to get into a tackling circuit or to do some of those things. That's a chance for us to emphasize that.
It's also Wondering just how different is Chuba Hubbard, or similar is he to Kylan Hill and what you saw at Mississippi State?
In my opinion, he's faster without question, and it's a different offensive scheme, and he's exceptional as far as once he gets north and south, he's tough to catch, and he hits the hole so well. And then if you give him the edge, and he had the edge a few times against Texas, he can outrun everybody. And he's a physical back too. He runs through arm tackles, and very, very impressed with him. But both backs were, Hill's obviously a great player as well.
You guys entered this Big 12 season as one of the 3 undefeated teams in the league still, and are ranked in the Associated Press poll this week. I mean, what do you see in these guys?
Seeing our guys, or we're just continuing to grow and try to getting better every day. I don't pay attention to if we're ranked or not ranked or what. I pay attention obviously to our record, because that's what you're judged by. But we're a long ways away from being a finished product. We have to continue to improve over the next 2 months, because I know as you get into Big 12 play, if you don't have your A game every Saturday, you're going to get beat. There's just no bones about it. Home, away, doesn't matter. You better come prepared with a great preparation throughout the week to give yourself an opportunity to be successful.
And what's Daniel Green meant to this defense early?
Daniel Green,
yeah.
He's getting better. He's playing more, and I think each time he gets on the field, he's gaining more confidence. It gives us, a third linebacker right now that we can rotate and rotate often, especially with the games, like 2 weeks ago when it was so hot, and this week it'll probably be warm again, even though it's an evening game. So he'll play an awful lot for us.
Going back to Chuba Hubbard, what are you guys doing, or who are you using to kind of prepare your defense for a talent like that?
Well, we have all of it's hard to replicate him, but, whether it's, C.J. Price or Jacardier, we're using all those guys. I mean, that's the hard thing, is you have to practice some tempo where you're going quickly, and so everybody has to play running back. That's a running back. You're in for a play, and then you're quickly lining up and running a play again. So you can't just focus on one guy from a scout team standpoint, or you won't get enough plays off.
Time of possession is a byproduct of productive offense, and not necessarily something you concentrate on. But how important is it in a game such as against Oklahoma State?
Yeah, it's really important for us when you have a team that wants to get between 90 and 100 plays, and if we're not able to move the ball and move the chains and have some effective drives and take some clock up, then we're going to be out there all day on defense, and we can't afford to do that. We need to try to keep the play count down, and that's obviously some of the offense that we can do, and then us getting off the field when we have the opportunities on third down. But something that we're talking about as a staff without question.
I'm sure you don't go into a season with preconceived notions on number of carries and that kind of stuff, but through 3 games, I think James Gilbert has 1 less carry than Jordan Brown and Harry Trotter combined. Would you have maybe expected James to get that much of the load? Has he just earned it, or is it too early in the season to read
Too early
that?
in the season. Once again, those first 2 weeks, you could say some of our freshmen had a lot of carries, which moving forward they probably won't get as many as the veteran guys. So let's see how the Big 12 plays out. We need all those guys without question. All of them are quality backs, and the older guys are obviously going to get the lion's share of those reps now, just because it's their time and they're experienced.
Is there any concern at all with Coach Dickey being down at Oklahoma State, knowing your offensive line, knowing their strengths and weaknesses, or has Coach Riley just changed them up that much that it's not going to be an issue?
No, I think from a personnel standpoint, it probably is very advantageous. All the calls are different, so some of the line stunts and line things you talk about at the line of scrimmage, all that's changed. So that's not anything that we can concern ourselves with. But obviously, personnel, he knows the strengths and weaknesses of all our guys. You bet.
And the flip side of that being, do you feel like you got some advantage knowing what their blocking schemes might be?
A call or a term doesn't give you great advantage if you can't beat the guy in front of you. And obviously, people change things, and it's a different system that they're in that he's going to now. So, no, it still comes down to who the better player is, that you're going across from, and so that's still going to come down to who's best in the trenches.
Tyler Thompson had one of his better games the last time he went to this stadium. In your experience as a coach, have you seen that can be an advantage when they return to a familiar environment like that?
Yeah, well, I hope so. It gives you confidence going in that you can have success at a place if you've been there before to be successful. But you still have to execute. He still has to have a tremendous week of preparation because obviously it's a different offense and it's a different style of defense, so to speak. And so we've got to continue to prepare on a daily basis. And we had a good practice yesterday. Today's going to be critical for us to make sure that we keep moving forward in the game plans.
K-State historically has had pretty good luck recruiting kids out of Oklahoma, Tulsa area especially.
Mm-hmm.
Is that still, I know you're new, but is that still a place you guys value?
You bet. Thomas Grayson we took there this year, and it's not far. And Jay Ray is from the area, and so Coach Ray's done a nice job, and we'll continue, to find guys in that region. But it's Big 12 country, and so you want to try to make sure and give yourself a chance to recruit some of those guys.
Over the past couple weeks, have you noticed the overall focus of this team kind of improve heading into conference play?
No, our focus has been good since we got here. That's the thing. I don't want a roller coaster. I want our guys to have great focus, and they've had tremendous focus from the spring or winter to spring to summer to fall. And that's what we're striving for, is to have guys prepared to practice every day, prepared for meetings every day, prepared for walkthrough, prepared to make sure that they're understanding the game plans and watching film. And that's, I think, a credit again to our older guys and our leadership that they challenge everybody to be great every day.
Are Wyatt Hubert and Walter Neal on track to play?
Yes, they both are. They both have practiced the last 3 practices. They'll be ready to go.
And then Cody Fletcher?
I would say Cody's out this week.
What has impressed you most about the running game right now?
The fact that we've been able to do it out of a variety of formations. We've been able to do it under center. We've been able to do it out of gun. It's been some quarterback run. We haven't done much quarterback run. We haven't needed to a ton, but we've gotten the jet game going with our receivers. We've used them, multiple backs, multiple tight ends. That's the thing that for us to be successful, we have to be able to make it difficult to prepare for our offense, simply because you're not lining. Everybody says we run power. Yeah, we do, but we have a lot of different schemes off of that. And the more our guys get comfortable with all those different schemes, the better we're going to be. And there's some schemes that we're not running very well that we tried to emphasize last week so that we can have, more diversity in our run game.
I got kind of a different question for you. You're carrying on a tradition this weekend. This will be the 19th time in the last 24 years that K-State will start a Big 12 season on the road. What are your thoughts maybe on that trend, and would you look forward to starting a Big 12 season at home maybe next year?
I control what you can control is what I would say, and so it's going to even out or close to even out in the Big 12. Obviously, it doesn't totally even out, but that is what it is. You're on the road, and you have to be able to prepare and play well on the road. And once again, it's another great challenge for us to be able to try to see if we can continue to improve, continue to get better in all 3 phases. That's what our goal is this week.
On the flip side of that, first of all, it's not going to even out. You got a lot of time to get it evened out. But on the flip side of that, this is a year where you have 5 Big 12 home games out of the 9. So now you're looking at 5 out of 8 in Manhattan coming down the stretch. Does that even maybe add some more importance to this game, because now you're going to be coming home quite a bit?
If you look that far ahead, you're going to get beat, period. And so we're not focusing on whatever's after this game. This is our only focus. And just like Nichols and Bowling Green, and people like, aren't you excited about playing Mississippi State? No, we're excited about attacking Bowling Green and continuing to improve. And it's easy to say we have 12 one-week seasons, but that's the way you have to approach it. And the opportunities, nobody's guaranteed a game after this one. Somebody could get hurt and stuff. So you try to put your best foot forward every Saturday.
Anticipating this environment, this road environment, being tougher than what you saw at Mississippi State?
Yeah, mainly because they're closer. They're right on top of you, and I've been down there once, but the guys have told me as well about how tight it is. The sidelines obviously are really tight, and it'll be exceptionally loud just because it is their Big 12 home opener as well. And so, we worked the noise last week. We worked it yesterday. We'll work it again today, and hope that we have enough different variety of snap counts and stuff that we're able to execute.
Cross paths much with Mike Gundy in your career?
Just at the last Big 12 meeting, I sat with him and spent a little time with him and bounced some ideas off of him, and I was really appreciative of him, of willing to sit and visit with me and answer my questions, and so much respect for him because he's a ball coach, and he didn't care that I was a rival. I was another coach, and he just, hey, I'll help you out however I can, and that meant a ton to me.
On that same note, he's been somebody with a history of hiring kind of non-traditional coordinators from different places, and really falls into that football mentality. Did he talk about that with you at all?
No, but the first thing he said to me was, how cool it was, what a run you guys had at North Dakota State. What you guys did there was remarkable. He appreciated and knew of what the past was, where we came from, and appreciated good football, and said, shoot, that was fun to watch you guys. You guys had one heck of a run.
Chris, when it comes to a guy like Tylan Wallace, whether you're talking corner, safety, secondary in general, do you try and stay up in his face all day long? How do you handle a guy like that?
Well, you have to know where he's aligned. Is he going to be outside? Is he going to be in the slot? Is he going to be on a single receiver side? Is he going to be part of a three-man bunch, two-man? We're going to try to identify where he's at because he's a big-time playmaker. And then just like everybody else is probably done and going to continue to do to him, you hope you don't get exposed when you got to play man coverage, because you have to play some single coverage on him, whether it's single man or single zone. You're gonna get over the top of him a couple times. You're gonna try to jam him, have somebody over the top. You're gonna do all sorts of different things. So you keep showing different pictures. But the first and most important thing is to recognize where he's aligned all the time, which is difficult when you're going that fast.
And with Sanders, does his athleticism, his playmaking ability outweigh his youthfulness?
Oh, yeah. Oh, he doesn't look like a freshman out there. Tremendous speed, really tough. He got hit a number of times last week, and he kept bouncing up, bouncing back. Didn't get rattled when he threw an interception. Competitive. I just love the way the guy competes and plays so hard all the time. And he's a fun guy to watch on television. I'll let you know how fun he is when it's live.
I know you guys spent a lot of time in preseason, working the starting defense for starting offense. Obviously, you're probably not doing that this week because you got to prepare for tempo. Mm-hmm. How different is that to, show the offense now?
It's really different. We're always going to, like yesterday, we did some ones versus ones. We're always going to do that during the week at some point, just because I think it's really important to get the speed of the game, not only at wide out in skill positions, but up front as well. But we have some unique ways to work on tempo that we'll keep it to ourselves, but we have a lot of unique ways to work on the tempo to try to get multiple plays off in a realistic look, not something that's not realistic. It's really pretty good football, and our scout team and our grad assistants that run our scout team do a phenomenal job, and we were able to work a little bit of that last week, which I think helped, to your point, get the kinks out of coming out of a huddle. And yesterday, I thought our recall was really, really good with the scout team guys of playing fast, and we need to do that for the next 3 days.
Can I ask you a little bit about their defense and maybe just describe what you think they're doing?
They're doing a lot of different things, very multiple. They're going to be in a 3-down look. They can get to a 4-down look. They're going to play some cover 2 with squat corners. They're going to play some man coverage. They're going to pressure you out of their 3-down stuff. They were pretty unique against Texas, which it's kind of difficult because we're a different offense than Texas, and so it'll be interesting to see how they do try to defend all the things that we do. but extremely talented group of guys. Really been impressed with the corners in general. Both are physical guys that run well and cover extremely well, and we'll have our hands full trying to find different ways to be able to try to manipulate some drives so we can keep the ball.
I was going to ask you, what's impressed you most about Jordan Mitty and what he's done?
It's not surprising to me because he's a competitor, but how smart he is, how the game comes to him. And when I say that as a defensive tackle, you think, well, how hard can it be? Well, we just changed everything on a young man from spring to fall with every new different terminology, every different technique, everything different. And he's grasped everything exceptionally well. He's playing at a really high level. And the thing that's fun to see is how confident he's playing. And when you're playing with confidence, you're making more plays. And he's going to make Trey Deshawn that much better, because right now you look at people that are doubling Trey and Mitty's making a ton of plays. Well, that's going to have to even out, and because Jordan's just been an unbelievable playmaker through 3 weeks.
Get into some of the stuff you don't want to share about secrets, but when you talk about the double rep system some, how do you divvy up the responsibilities of who coaches the running backs on their side if Brian Anderson's on the A side, for lack of a better term? Like, how does that work out?
Well, we're not doing that now, but during fall camp, it would be a grad assistant there, or Coach Mess would handle them. Maybe they'd be on opposite fields. A great example would be Coach Malone and Coach Kleinerman. One's coaching corners, one's at safeties. They were always on separate ends, so they could coach all four. And then obviously that's what you film all of it, and then you sit and watch all of it. You're watching a lot more tape, but in the same respect, even though that's not full speed tempo, I know that if we had a 40-play set, Denzel Goolsby's getting 33 or 34 of those plays. That's the conditioning. You're getting 34 plays out of 40 plays, and it's pretty good pace. That's the conditioning part.